Alright, what's up everybody, it's Kami and welcome to the first of the next 39 weekly JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind anime episode reviews, where we're going to be sitting down talking about the episodes, discussing what the hell happened, how it looked, how it sounded, etc, etc. I'm very excited. Are you guys excited? Alright, let's jump right into this because holy shit, there's a lot of things I want to talk about. So right off the bat, I just want to say that Vento Aureo's animation looks gorgeous. Everything is super fluent, all the colors look nice, the way the characters are drawn is just great. And I'm just here for the way that this show looks. It looks a lot like parts 1 through 3 did in the anime, which part 4's anime kind of looks different at points. And there are moments and episodes where it has like a similar shading to the way they drew the characters in parts 1 through 3. But I do like that they went back to this style for part 5. I think it just fits it really well. Especially the shading, man. The shading is really great. But the episode's animation itself is super good. Everybody looks lively. Naples just looks great. Everything is amazing. All the people just look nice and natural, you know, stuff like that. And I also do want to point out the fact that I think that they've been making really good use of camera angles and perception for the animation at some shots, like when Giorno hits Leaky-Eyed Luca with the shovel, or not hits him, but he reflects the attack. You guys know what I'm talking about. When he reflects the attack at Leaky-Eyed Luca and it like shifts around, it's like really nice looking. And speaking of Leaky-Eyed Luca and Giorno, I actually do like that at the very beginning of the episode you just have Giorno walking around the streets of Naples, passing by a bunch of random people on his way to the airport, and while he's passing by these random people, people are getting mugged, people are selling drugs, people are giving dirty money to cops and stuff like that, you know, like just little crime details and, you know, bad shit going on to let you know, hey, it's a beautiful town, but a lot of crime and bad shit happens here. Kind of really sets the tone for Vento Aureo. And we also see Leaky-Eyed Luca beating up somebody with the damn shovel over not giving him money. It's great. And one of my favorite things about Vento Aureo has always been the fact that Koichi is there right away. Koichi is a familiar face for everybody. Everybody that's read or seen part 4 knows who the hell Koichi is. Koichi is an amazing character, and seeing him again in the beginning of part 5 is just really nice. Now don't get used to him because you're not really going to be seeing him for too much of the part. He's only going to be here for a little bit in the beginning, probably like the next like 3 or 4 episodes he'll be gone. But enjoy him while he's here, it's great. So Koichi's here, he bumps into Giorno, who's doing weird stuff with his ear at the airport. And Giorno's the cab driver at 15. I don't know how that works in Italy land. I don't know if they can actually drive at 15. Shout out to Italy land and all my Italian people out there. I love you guys. But Giorno's a cab driver, and he tries to run off with Koichi's luggage. And I love stuff like this in JoJo, seeing the characters freak out over just random bizarre things. It's like, oh, you just try to steal his luggage, and then Koichi's like, nah, dude, echoes Act 3, and he stops the entire car, and then Giorno dips out, and then Koichi tries to grab his luggage, but it's actually a frog, and we get into that whole bizarre shit, and it's just so great, dude. And all these little in-between shots and just things like this, these small details with the frog transforming from the luggage, it looks so damn good. Like, I seriously can't stress it enough. I really think that the animation is just full of life. Shout out to David Pro and everybody that's been working on the Vento Aureo anime. You guys are doing a great job. I love you guys so much. But everything is just so full of life. And after this, we see Giorno actually encounter Luca. Luca pulls him off to the side because he's like, hey, I see you've been working here at the airport, you know, doing cab fares and shit. But like, yo, you got to give me money. And Giorno's like, no. But Luca's a gangster, so of course he's not going to have any of that shit. And I actually really like Leaky-Eyed Luca's character design, by the way. I think the anime makes him look way cooler than he's supposed to, but that's the power of anime. You can make these really small minor characters stand out and just make them look really amazing right away. Even though they're only on screen for a couple of seconds or a couple minutes or however long, they always look cool. Luca sits here and gives Giorno all this shit. He tries taking his wallet. You see a picture of Dio, then you see Giorno, and it's like, shit, dude, that's so amazing. And because Luca's aggressive and he wants money, he attacks Giorno, who actually ends up deflecting the attack, and then he gets hit with the shovel on the top of his head. And that like entire little sequence right there is actually really cool looking. The camera angles and stuff like that with the animation is like really nice. They've been making really good use of perception, like depth perception, and the way that they've been using camera angles and stuff so far just within this first episode. It looks really nice. Like everything just looks so good. Like I could literally sit here for 10 minutes and tell you guys that it looks good, but you just gotta sit down and watch it yourself, and it really does look amazing. Like, I feel like a lot of people are gonna look at this compared to the very first episode of part 4 and be like, wow, like this is a big upgrade. And again, I'm not bashing part 4. I love part 4. Everybody should know this by now. If you're like new to the channel, then I guess you wouldn't. But I reviewed all the episodes of the part 4 anime, and I did a video talking about the Part 4 anime as a whole after it ended, just reviewing everything, what I liked, what I disliked, so you guys can go watch those for more details on that. But I liked every little bit of the episode, from all Koichi's shenanigans, calling up Jotaro and informing him that he found Giorno and that he has a stand, to bumping back into Giorno himself and actually trying to attempt to attack him, but Giorno's like, nah, sits on a tree, branches himself out, gets back on the train. Koichi's kind of just like screwed, just talks to Jotaro again. It's like, you know, yeah, whatever. And by talks to him again, I mean, I just confused the order. They show a flashback of Koichi talking to Jotaro before he leaves to Naples from Japan. And then you see him talk to him on the phone after he encounters Giorno again to tell him that he's a stand user and that he's found him. It is a small mistake on my part. I haven't slept. I've literally been waiting all night for this episode, even though it's like 1 in the afternoon. I probably am going to go sleep after this, honestly. And by the way, the fact that this anime is only going to be 39 episodes, just like Diamond is Unbreakable, is great. Especially for this part, because one, Part 4's pacing was really great, and Part 4 is a bit longer than Part 5, but Part 5's pacing in the manga is actually pretty fast because everything happens in a short amount of time in Vento Aureo. So far the first episode covered like a pretty decent amount of ground, actually. So we got to the end of the episode where Giorno's on the train. Bucciolati approaches him, talks to him about Leaky-Eyed Luca, asks him if he knows anything. You know, Giorno's all, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, dude, her. Bucciolati's being weird. Bucciolati gets off the train. Then Giorno's got an eyeball in his hand, and then Bucciolati licks his face, and it's the taste of a liar, and all the good stuff just happens. And by the way, if you guys didn't think I was going to say it again, I'm going to say it again. This all looks so amazing while it happens. All the colors, we've got all the really weird like abstract shots that they always do in JoJo, where everything just kind of like distorts, and it's super good. And Bucciolati starts his attack on Giorno, and you see him pull the fingers out of his mouth when Giorno spits the fingers out of his mouth, I'm sorry, which is actually Luca's fingers. And by the way, talking about this now, seeing Luca's fingers like all chopped up and stuff, there's like barely any censorship on the fingers at all. There's just like a little bit of black on like where the bone would be, but it's like a really small amount. It's not like anything where in Part 3 you had like Jotaro smoking in the Derby fight, I believe it was, and he had like the cigarette in his mouth and like his whole entire face was like blacked out because of censorship. None of that is here. So that's good, because Part 5 is a pretty gruesome part. There's like a lot of gore in Part 5 and stuff like that, and people getting bodied really badly. So it's nice to see that they're not actually censoring all this stuff like too terribly, at least as of now. Because it is just fingers coming out of Giorno's mouth, and it's just like, you know, chopped fingers. It's not too big of a deal, but it is nice that it's not censored to all hell already. So that's great. Because like even with Part 4, when you see the hand in the very beginning of the first episode, like pretty much the whole entire wrist is like kind of blacked out because it's just a severed hand. But so far we don't have super bad censorship, which is great. And then we have Giorno finally pulling out Golden Wind, Golden Experience, the greatest stand of all time, which by the way, people are going to be wondering, Golden Wind, Gold Experience, Vento Aureo. So Vento Aureo is Italian for Golden Wind. They call Gold Experience Golden Wind for localization purposes because of copyrights with like music and things like that. But it's all the same thing. Golden Wind is Vento Aureo for the part. Calling the stand Golden Wind or Gold Experience is fine. There's, you know, no difference. It's just Golden Wind is the English localized name. You're still going to hear Giorno say Gold Experience because, you know, that's what they call it in Japan, so he's going to call it that. But just for subtitle purposes and like the games and stuff like that, they're going to call it Gold Experience Golden Wind. And it's going to be like this for a couple stands later on in the part. Some names are going to be like pretty weird and different. Some names aren't going to be too bad, but it'll be fun. Shoutouts to Zipperman. And speaking of, you see Giorno with, once again, Golden Wind at the very end of the episode. And he's looking at Bruno, and that's it. And the next episode is going to have Giorno and Bruno actually fighting on the train, which is going to be great. And I can't wait for this next episode because we didn't get an opening or an ending to play in the first episode, which usually they don't do an opening or ending in the first episode, or they'll do the opening at the end of the episode. It's always really weird. They just kind of like do things in weird order, but we didn't get either of those at all this week, and the opening is done by Coda, which is the guy that did Bloody Stream, which is the Part 2 opening. Everybody likes that shit. That shit is amazing. He's doing the opening for Vento Aureo. So when we get to hear that, will probably be either next week for episode 2, or if not, the week after that, episode 3, we should hear the opening and the ending, which is going to be great. I'm super excited for this next episode. I'm super excited for every other episode that's going to be coming out, to just sit down and talk about Vento Aureo. Like, I've been waiting for this for so long. Everybody else has been waiting for so long. There's been so much anticipation, so much hype, and I'm just overall extremely excited and enthusiastic for this shit. So let me know what you guys thought about the first Vento Aureo episode down below in the comments. Let me know what you're looking forward to, if you've already read the manga, or if this is going to be your first experience with the part and you're an anime only, then welcome, join the ride, have fun, watch out. People are probably going to spoil the shit out of you because unfortunately that's what people on the internet do, but try to avoid spoilers as best as possible. And normally within my videos, at least, I always give spoiler warnings before I talk about spoilers. If a video has spoilers, there's a spoiler warning in the intro and stuff like that. Like, for stuff like this, I'm not going to talk about spoilers, so I'm not going to have the spoiler warning. I mean, the only spoilers would be what happens in the episode, because I'm like talking about things that happen in the episode, but you guys get my point. I'm not going to sit here and spoil the end of Vento Aureo in this video. I'm super hype. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Follow me on Twitter at FreyKugel, and you can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/SuperKameGaming. All the links are in the description down below. You can also join my Discord to talk to me, talk to the people about JoJo or video games or whatever the hell you feel like it. Really, just go ahead and do whatever you want. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. And remember, muda muda, muda muda, muda muda. And yes, we're going to get a really long sequence of mudas later on from Giorno, in case you haven't guessed already. It's going to be super great. Bye, guys.